Hey, sister, this is Dr. Karen Osborne. Listen, a really quick message before we get to the episode today. I want you to consider possibility of being part of a sisterhood of women just like you that want more connection and passion within their marriage, want a deeper connection with their children, that want more within their business and their bank account, want a healthier and lean body, and want to clearly know their purpose. See, this is what my Women Wanting More live events are all about. Being part of a sisterhood of women, 2.5 days of going deep on all of these things and coming out the other end knowing clearly what you want, why it matters, and the tools to actually put that shit into action. So if this is something that's speaking to you right now, I want you to head over to drkarenosborne.com, click on the Coach With Me button, and we will start the application process to see if you're fit for my next live event. Enjoy the episode, sister. Love and appreciate you.
Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So check this out, sister. Slow is fast. Remember my coach Setema mentioning this at one of our trainings, and I was like, slow is fast. What do you mean slow is fast? Fast is fast. Slow is slow. And I'm someone who moves fast. Ba. Watch me go, get out of my way. Does that sound familiar? Let me give you an example of why this actually makes sense and how my day has started. Slow is fast. Slow is fast. So the night before, I get everything ready for the boys. Lunch is made, bags put out, shoes, jackets, clothes laid out, like everything's ready to go. So when they get up in the morning, when they've been at boxing or yoga or worked out some other way, and it's not a lot of time, everything's organized and ready. However, there's the occasional morning where boys decide they don't want to have pants. They decide that they just want to argue the whole morning. They wake up grumpy. And that was today. And so crazy, right? Because I was just mentioning my husband the other day. I'm like, I'm so patient with the kids now. I'm just really present. And then I have a morning like today, where I was patient, and then I was done with patience. And started with Kai, our 3-year-old, not wanting to get dressed, playing off of daddy and mommy. Mommy can usually get stuff done a little easier, a little faster, a little like, nope, buddy, this is not happening, we're doing this. Kind of very matter of fact. And he tends to kind of just fall a little bit more and listen. It's just the way it works. But this morning, no doing, okay? And today, I'm even a little bit tighter for time because after I then drop off Kai, get back, walk Tyson to school and back, I have my coaching call, my shield waiting call. And so finally got Kai going, threatened to take away his beloved trains if he didn't do this, which for our kids worked. You know, you gotta, again, as a parent, if you're listening to your mom or dad, we have a lot of male listeners as well too to the podcast, gotta figure out what works with your kids, right? They're all different. But for us, understanding consequences to actions matters. So they know there's a consequence. If they choose to delay getting ready, if they choose to tease each other, if they choose to fight and hit, there's going to be consequences. And my boys are both really attached to either game stuff or, iPad games, toys for Kai's train. So finally got Kai in. We're now 7-8 minutes later than we usually would go, which also means I'm going to hit a little bit more traffic. So the drive to and from daycare, which would normally take about 10 minutes each way, maybe 5 minutes at drop off, is now taking longer, okay? And we get to daycare, and there's this little teeny vestibule when you come into the daycare, it's teeny. It's a small daycare to begin with, but literally probably 3 adults could stand in it. 2 parents are there with their kids. in my mind, the way that I saw it, taking their sweet ass time, slowly getting the boots off, reassuring their kids, who you know are going to be fine, in 30 seconds. As soon as their parents walk out the door, if they're having that sad drop off or they're kind of clingy, you know, the door's closed and like they're totally fine, but they're like, you know, just making it worse. My judgment, dragging it out. I'm standing there with Kai. We're just waiting. Kai's cool. He's just waiting. He's patient. I'm like, bye. Just wait for our turn. It's like 3 minutes till now. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta go. I'm already late. And so I literally said to the parents, I just said, hey, you know what? Can I just kind of like scooch in here? Because I gotta go drop off my other boy at school. And so got Kai. I mean, the drop off for me with Kai is like, it's fast. He's excited to be there. Boots off, buddy. He goes through the gate. We drop off his lunch, put his jacket away. He's good to go. Like, we're in and out in a minute, less, 30 seconds. So then driving back, and I'm like, okay, kind of tight for time. Texting my husband Ed. I'm like, okay, babe, I'm 5 minutes away. Now, thankfully, I have an amazing husband, and he had Tyson dressed, and breakfast is done, and hair's brushed, and he's kind of all ready to go, right? But even still, he's like, oh, it's just distractions, right? He's like, you know, in the movie Up, the dog who's called Doug, and he'd be looking at something and then it'd just be like, squirrel, like they're just distracted. You know, that's kids, right? It's definitely my son Tyson's. We're like, buddy, keep moving forward. And what's interesting is, so even on the drive over to Kai and then back where I found myself starting to get kind of like stressed, going, buddy, come on, hurry up, we gotta go, which has not been my normal way of showing up as a mom. And I caught myself, I'm driving home, I actually shot a video about it. I'll put the post or the link to the video that I put up on Facebook about this. Just realizing that it doesn't matter if I stress out about shit. I'm still gonna get there when I get there. And this happened then also too on the walk with Tyson. He's taking his time, then it's starting to rain. Then I'm telling this whole story about how I'm gonna get soaked in the rain. I just straightened my hair before coming over. Like stuff that's really like, literally like, who gives a shit, right? But I'm creating this big thing in my head. And then I'm eating an apple, which Tyson said he didn't want one on the walk. And I'm done, so it was really kind of like foresty in parts of it. We're walking through a trail. I chucked the apple core in, it wasn't quite done. And now Tyson's mad at me because he wanted the apple. Because of course I'm supposed to be able to read his mind and know that. And so I was getting mad at him. I didn't care what neighbors were saying. I'm just like, dude, move your legs. Let's go. You're a mean mommy. I'm like, well, rudeness has consequences, buddy. You keep this up, there's going to be a consequence. And he had a big scowl on his face. He's looking at me, and we're like 5 minutes and 10-minute walk. And I look back, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm going, Karen, what the fuck are you doing? What do I want? I want a relationship with my sons that are loving. Do I still need to be stern and the disciplinarian at time? You better fucking believe it. But I didn't want what was happening. This was not fun. It didn't feel good. I don't like the look on my son's face that I was seeing. So I stopped. I gave him a hug. I said, buddy, I'm sorry. It's not okay for mommy to yell, rush you. And we got to school. Like with 5 extra minutes. All because of my story of, I'm gonna be late, we gotta go, blah, 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 you know. Slow is fast. When you in moments where you're feeling yourself, like whether it's a time thing or something else, if you can just slow down. Realize that scene with Neo in the Matrix, like the first one, where the bullet's coming and he puts his hand out and he slows it. And he does that kind of like backward bend thing. The bullet whizzes past him. Right? Slow is fast. And check this out. Here's another reminder for me. There's a deer on our front lawn. I shit you not. Beautiful mama deer. Little baby's probably not far behind, reminding me that slow is fast. So here is your more tip for today. God, these deer are so beautiful. Where do you need to just slow down? Where do you think that getting all stressed out and anxious is actually getting you what you want? And then somehow that energy is required. to get you the things that you want? Where do you need to actually move slow when you're moving so fast right now? And understand that slow is actually fast. So I want you to head over to drkarenosborne.com, sister, and subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter. Be part of the tribe, the VIP access. You'll see a couple different places where you can opt in, entering your email and your name, and we'll get you hooked up on that VIP access. You can get all the information about the master classes, my live events, the next one coming up in January 2017, the book that's coming out, and really be part of the sisterhood and tribe. So I will talk to you in the next episode. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you, sister.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.